Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It has been an amazing day so far, hasn't it? Absolutely, very much so. So, with that being said, here I am going live for my 10th time. My 10th time. I'm so honored and privileged to be in front of you. Warms my heart. It really does. With that being said, this has been an all-day summit for you. Yes, for you. All these amazing speakers have come in to share their wisdom with you so that you don't feel so alone. That the questions that you might have, the second guessing you might have, yeah, hopefully they've answered some of that for you, which will be fantastic. And hopefully you've gotten some support that you've needed. Hopefully you have been involved in the group and received some of those nuggets of information. You've learned something along the way. And maybe, just maybe, you've connected with someone within the group that you felt a kinship with in some manner, shape, or form, whether it was another participant who, said, hey, I agree with you. Yeah, I've felt that too. Whatever it might be. But you're not alone. And you might have connected with one of the experts, the moderators, the admins, and gotten some really in-depth work done. Whatever it might be, kudos to you. Give yourself some applause because you're doing the hard work. It is hard work. Not for nothing, you thought you were going to have the happily ever after. You did. I know that. And it's so challenging when we go through the agonizing decision of divorcing, then going through the divorce, and then the after divorce. Because if you have children, there's still co-parenting involved. There are all these things. There are a variety of things. And here you are looking for support. So who am I? Why am I in front of you at the noon hour? My name is Vanessa Cardenas, and I'm a relationship reset expert. Well, wait a second. Why are you in this group? I'm not interested in resetting my relationship with my ex. No. I work with couples, yes, to reset their marriage in hopes that they're able to continue on with their marriage. That's a goal. But I also work with individuals to reset the relationship they have with themselves. You know this. You do. You lay awake at night wondering, did I make the right decision? Am I making the right decision? How do I do this? How do I become a single parent? How do I interact with the friends that we used to have as a couple, as a married couple, that now they've either taken sides or they've become Switzerland? How do I look at myself in the mirror? How do I look at my spouse, my former spouse, my ex, and not have all these racing thoughts through my head? Some good, most bad. We know that. Yes, we do. Oh, we have that cycle of bad memories running through us and those ill will feelings that we get. I understand it more than you realize. I do. I've worked with hundreds of clients in my Westchester office as well as on Zoom. And the reason that I got into this work is that my husband said 3 words to me that I never, ever thought he would say. I've met someone. And just like that, my whole world shattered. It did. Now, not for nothing. I'm a smart woman. I have a psychology degree. I thought for sure I could fix me. Obviously, there was something wrong with me. Because as women, that's usually where we go first, for the most part. Majority of women go there first. And then I could fix him. Oh, yeah, I could absolutely fix him. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. In my particular case, yeah, I fell hard. I fell hard. And I remember laying on that bedroom floor, pleading with God's source spirit to give me a reprieve because I was in so much pain. So much pain. And I heard it like a thunderbolt. I did. You have to help someone else. Oh, no. You're not listening to me. You misunderstood. I need help. No. Said it again. You need to help someone else. And I finally relented. Okay, fine. Just let me sleep. Let me get a reprieve from how I'm feeling. And I did. 1 degree difference. I felt a little better. Second day, a little bit more. Third day, I got that little nudge. You promised. And that's when I dove headfirst into relationships and betrayal and all the things that go with it. Because when you take in information with the intention of teaching it to someone else, of sharing it with someone else, you'll learn it very differently. With that being said, I invite you today to take in all the information that you are receiving with the intention of sharing it with someone else. I got on Facebook Live and I listened to this woman with red in her hair, and she said a couple of things that they clicked for me, and I want to share them with you. And that's how you'll remember these things. So keep that in mind. That's a little hack for you, that if you really want to feel better, you really want something, learn it with the intention of sharing it, because you will learn it very differently. You will retain it and it'll click for you. Don't we want that? Don't we want to feel better? Just to feel better with ourselves, the relationship that we have with ourselves. So today, I am here in front of you. I am not a rinse and repeat. So if you go back through the archives in the group, you will see that I've done, again, 9 other presentations, and they're all very different because I am not a rinse and repeat. I want to give you new information, fresh information, things I've learned so that I can tell you. I love it. So today, we're going to be talking about rebuilding trust in yourself, the second-guessing, self-kindness, and the journey forward after divorce. Because that's the direction you're going in. You're going forward. And we need to see that path. And it might be murky, and it might have twists and turns, and some of it might be dark. And we don't know what that journey entails. But as long as we keep putting one foot in front of the other, and at times we can stop, that's absolutely fine to stop, to pause, as long as you're not getting stuck. We don't want you to get stuck. We want you to keep moving forward. So all of the speakers that you have heard today and all the speakers you will hear after me, that's the intention, for you to move forward, for you to feel better, for you to feel better in your own skin, for you to honor yourself. Wouldn't that feel great? Wouldn't that feel great? I know for me, it did, because it had provided hope. And that's what I want to give you today. Hope. Hold on, pain ends. It does. Hope. Hold on, pain ends. So with that being said, we have a lot of things to cover. Are you ready for it? So I want you to settle in. Take a nice deep breath. Let everything else go, all the lists, all the things, the being everything to everyone else, and the running list you have going on in your head. put it aside for the next 40 minutes. We are going to dive deep into ways to make you feel better. So with that being said, our objective today is for you to recognize and interrupt those patterns of self-doubt that creep in. To rebuild some self-trust. Yes, you need to trust yourself. And to cultivate practices that support your healing, that support and give you confidence as you continue to walk the path. Because when you're confident on the path, you can walk. You absolutely can. You can face it all when you have the confidence to be able to do so. And that's what we're going to work on today. So, I've already told you about myself. I wish that we didn't have the screen in front of us, that we could have this dialogue and I could learn a little bit more about you. But if you're a member of this group, by all means, reach out to me. I am one of the moderators. Be more than happy to have a discussion with you. You can DM me, so forth and so on. You'll notice that I do that quite often. I do take a breath. I invite you that when I take a breath, you take a breath. It truly is a lost art form. Besides listening. Listening's an art form as well. But breathing, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised because what it does is it allows everything to settle. And that's what we want. We just want to settle in to the next 39 minutes. So, I want you to think about what have you second guessed this week? What have you second guessed this week? What have you tossed in your mind over and over and over again, running through a variety of scenarios? I know you have. I have. Everybody does. But sometimes we can spiral those to the point where they're completely out of control because we've second guessed ourselves to the point where we lose faith in ourselves, in our capability of being able to make a choice, to make a decision. And that's not to say that every single decision that you make is right or wrong. No, you've made a decision. You're standing in that decision. Are you within your right to change that decision at some point because of new information that you gather, that you gain? Of course, absolutely. With that being said, sometimes we can find ourselves on that pendulum just going back and forth about what if I do this and what if I do that and that I'll do this and I'll do that. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. And sometimes we do need to make that decision. We do need to make a decision, and we need to live in that decision for a while. Put it on. See how it feels for a while. Because if we allow what I refer to as nasty chick, our inner critic, to get a hold of it, oh, she can run wild with it. Oh, she can absolutely run wild with it. We don't want that. We absolutely don't. We want you to be comfortable in the decisions that you've made. Okay? So, one of the things that happens early on is something that I refer to as relationship amnesia. Okay? We tend to forget the good stuff, the reasons we got married, the reasons we joined in this relationship, the initial intoxication. For some of us, we can dwell just on the good stuff and completely have amnesia on the bad stuff. The abuse, whether it was physical, emotional, verbal, the reasons why you're getting divorced. So there's two schools, exactly. We can absolutely have amnesia on the good stuff and think it was just all horrific. And again, this is a bell curve, okay? Majority of people, 80% of the people, okay, fall in that. The two outer edges, the 10% on either end, yeah, okay, we get those. So it's not a situation of every and always, because those are two really defensive words. He was always this way. He never did X, Y, and Z. Okay, so we need to be careful with the language. So with that being said, the amnesia kicks in, okay? And we remember pretty much what we want to remember without a filter. And sometimes we do need that filter for our own peace of mind, okay? You are wiser now. You have more knowledge, and that knowledge is implemented into wisdom, okay? You didn't know what you didn't know, but now you do. And circumstances have changed, and that's why you find yourself in this position of getting divorced or divorced, okay? Another thing that kind of happens is we, especially as women, okay, we have our inner critic, we have our intuition, and we have our gut. Those are the three things that we have. And they're, for me, they're three distinctive things. A lot of times one will bully the other. It's usually the inner critic. The inner critic will take over and let the gut and the intuition fall by the wayside. I don't need you guys. I got this. I got this. I will tell her exactly how it is. And sometimes our inner critic can be vicious towards us. Oh, she can talk to us in ways that we would never let anyone else talk to us. But we've tolerated it, for some of us, for as long as we can remember. She's been a shadow. We thought she was protecting us, but that's not always the case. More times than not, it's not the case at all. And she can run through those movies in our minds, on repeat, over and over and over again, and it can become exhausting for you. Don't subject yourself to that. You don't need to. You absolutely don't need to subject yourself to that. So how do we get our inner critic, to settle down, to back off a bit? And it's just that sometimes, to let her know, back off, I got this. Because this, all of you, that's yours. You don't live by your inner critic. You don't. You don't. Yes, she can be really loud. She can be really loud, and she can be relentless, and she can convince you that she's protecting you. But it's not always the case. It's not. And she can be very destructive to you because she can continue to beat you down. You don't want that. You absolutely don't want that. And I get it. I do get it. Our inner critic can feel very comforting in a very twisted way. She's always there. She's always there for you. Yeah, exactly. And you're not crazy. You're not. You've just been rewired by the stress and the emotional erosion that you've had over your life. Because you have been everything to everyone. And now it's you that needs some soothing. You do. And you'd like people around you to soothe you, to understand what you're going through. And that doesn't always happen. Regrettably, as I mentioned when we first started chatting, Switzerland, our friends either take sides or they become Switzerland and neutral. Then we have that group of friends that completely disappear. Like they ghost you. Oh, I don't want that on me. You got divorced, we're still married, I don't want you giving my spouse any ideas. Okay. So right when you need to lean on people the most, they're not there. And that hurts. Now I got a double whammy. And then if you add in your ex's new partner, you're just beating me down even more. Now I got to deal with someone else, especially if you have children. Now they're actively involved with your children. And oh my God, it gets so messy. And it gets so messy so quickly. And there you are, alone at night, looking up at the ceiling and second guessing yourself all over again. You're beating yourself up unnecessarily. And it's exhausting. And you're not getting rest. So you're not taking care of yourself. You're not drinking, water, hydrating your body. You're not eating well. You're consumed with all of these thoughts. And you are exhausted. Can you function being exhausted? Sleep? Oh, it's so golden. It absolutely is. And you need it. And you need your rest. And how do we get to that point when we have so many thoughts and the self-doubt and the critic and And sometimes that's what it is. It's to pause and to breathe and to pause again and give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. This is hard work. It absolutely is. But if you find yourself replaying conversations obsessively, you're avoiding decisions, like you're paralyzed with making decisions, and you are projecting red flags everywhere, just or nowhere, like you're just hollow, you're numb, you're pretending. I want you to know something. I see you. I see you just as I see others. And people see you. They do. And sometimes all it takes from you is just an opportunity to say a few words, to be acknowledged, to be seen, to be heard. Oh, it feels so good. It does. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, you saw me. I'm not invisible. I'm not cloaked in all this pain and suffering that I'm feeling. You actually see me. Take those in. Take those in. So, one of the prompts that I have for you, and it's something that I want you to think about, and I want you to write this down. Write this down. Is this fear from my past or a fact from the present? Every time you have those intrusive thoughts, every time you have those second doubts, ask yourself this. Is this fear from my past or fact from the present? And what that does is it puts you back in this exact moment. Because sometimes that past, it can be brutal. It can chain you to a life that you no longer want. You no longer want it. But there it is. Constant reminder. Here I am. Oh, don't you forget. Come back. Come back to us. Yeah, we don't want that. So how do we do this? How do we get rid of that inner critic? How do we dissipate some of that self-doubt? Well, it starts with trusting ourselves. Trusting ourselves. Yes, trusting yourself. Be kind to yourself. When that inner critic, she starts screaming at you, tell her, I got this. I got this. Be kind to yourself. Recognize your good qualities, the things that you love about you. And I know this was a hard exercise for me too. Oh, it was. And sometimes you have to dig deep. But there is something about you that is unique, that is amazing, that is just uniquely yours. Find it. Remember it. Be kind to yourself. You know what? I used to do this, or I do this, or I'm really good at this. Whatever it is, savor it, enjoy it. Remember how it makes you feel. Those good feelings, oh, they have to race through you. And they have to chase out all of the crap that is being stored here, because this is becoming a coffin for everything else. And we don't want that. We don't want that. So in rebuilding trust for yourself, be kind to yourself. Number 2 is a daily anchoring practice. Something that you commit to, and it's for you. It's simply for you. My favorite, because I find this was challenging at first, and it was suggested to me, and I resisted. Oh, I resisted. But then I did it, and I've done it every day since. Going on almost a decade now. Find something to be grateful for. Oh, I know. Something to be grateful for? Really? Yes, something to be grateful for. And you might find that every single day you're writing the same thing. Oh, I'm grateful that it's sunny out. It's not raining. I'm grateful, that I got to take a hot shower for more than 5 minutes before somebody's knocking on the door. Whatever it is, whatever you can be grateful for. I do 3 things every single day. It started with 1 because I really struggled finding 1 because I was just so angry at everything and everyone and all of it, and mostly angry with myself. So find something that you can do as a daily practice. I mentioned the gratitude. It could be wins. A win that you had. Win that you had. It could be, I'm going to set the timer on my watch, on my phone, for 30 seconds, and I'm going to breathe 3 times. Deep breath in, hold it, and let it go. What it is it's anchoring something, a commitment that you have to yourself. And every time you do it, you're honoring yourself. And that's what we want. We want you to honor yourself. This ties into number 3, which is routine. You want to have a little bit of a routine. Okay? Probably already do, but you don't recognize that this is actually a routine. I want you to recognize the routine. I want you to see the routine, because it's like what it does for you is it connects your mind and your heart together when you have a routine, because you're honoring yourself. Where you put your keys, where you put your phone. This goes here, this goes there, whatever it is, whatever routine you want to create it. And it doesn't need to be challenging. It doesn't need to be difficult. I'm not asking for a huge time suck, not at all. I will always put my keys in this spot. And then every time you have it in that spot, moment of gratitude. They're my keys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In essence, you're thanking yourself, because the night before you put the keys exactly where they were supposed to be. This small little thing incrementally is teaching you, your body, your mind to trust itself. And that's what we want. We want to be able to trust ourselves. We also, number 4, we want to stay connected to ourselves and to others. I know this one's hard. But every time you look in the mirror, because you brush your teeth, you brush your hair, whatever it is, every single time you look in the mirror. Stay connected to yourself. Just do. Find something here on your face that you absolutely love about yourself. Okay, whether it's a beauty mark, okay, whether it's the way your hair lays, your eye color, your beautiful long eyelashes, $1,000,000 smile. Granted, it might not be that way at the moment because you're so angry, but in the past, people have told you that you have an award-winning smile. Whatever it is, there is something so beautiful and unique about you. When you look in the mirror, see that, acknowledge it, and take it in. Take it in. This is about honoring yourself. You can't honor yourself if you don't see yourself and you don't see your beautiful uniqueness. That is all you. All you. Embrace it. Honor it. So those are the 4 things. So we're getting more in touch with ourselves. We're starting to trust ourselves. We're starting to tap down that inner critic. We're starting to listen to the other 2, which is our gut and our intuition. Because we want to cultivate those. Because those are there as well. We do have all 3. And now we've gotten to the point where we're comfortable in our own skin. We're feeling pretty good. We're not second guessing every single decision, maybe once or twice, a couple of big decisions, but the little decisions, no, we don't second guess those anymore. We're comfortable and confident in our decisions. Okay. If you find yourself still struggling, one of the suggestions that I make to my clients, and it's one that I use, you'll notice that I have hair ties on my wrist. And most people look at me very strangely, especially if they pick up on it, because I have hair ties on my wrists, but I don't have hair to put into a ponytail. So why do I wear them? Okay. When I wake up in the morning and I'm feeling a little bit of self-doubt, a little bit of my inner critic starting to creep in because she never really goes away. Starts to whisper a little bit, but she never really completely disappears. So every once in a while, I get it too. I do. And what I do is I snap a band on my wrist to remind me I am right here, right now. I am right here, right now. I am not in the past. I can't change the past. I can't do anything about any of that. I really can't. What I can do is take the wisdom, the knowledge from those experiences and apply them to today. Because I didn't know what I didn't know then, but I know it now. I know it now. And now it serves me. It serves me so that I can serve others. So yes, I still wear a hair tie on my wrist on those days where I wake up and I feel a little off. I feel like, the past, why did I think of that? That's from why is that coming forward? I don't want to be back there. I want to be right here, right now. Snap a band on my wrist. Remind myself who I am, and what I do, and how I serve, and how I give, and I am me. And I remind myself. And I remind myself I am worthy, because we can lose sight of that. We absolutely can. And I don't want you to. And every time you do, snap a band on your wrist. It's a pattern interrupt. It's to interrupt that pattern. If we can interrupt that pattern before it cycles into that cesspool where it's just spiraling out of control, and those moments. You know those moments where you're thinking of one thing and then it keeps going and going and going and going and going, and suddenly you're in that cesspool and you're like, wait a second, how did I get here? Like you don't even recall how you got there because it happened so quickly. And that's when we need to break the pattern. We need to remind ourselves, I'm right here. I am right here, right now. So how do we move forward? How do we move forward? That's the question I get a lot in my office. This is all great and fine and theory and everything else, but how do I move forward? I want to move away from all that pain. I want to move away from the past. How do I do that? And as I mentioned, it starts with trusting yourself first. Trust yourself that you can do it. Okay? Because you can. You absolutely can. So let's talk about the forward movement. Okay? In order to do that, you're going to need to grieve fully. You're going to need to grieve fully. And how do I associate grief? Grief, for me, and how I define grief is love with no place to go. It's lost. It's just floating around. It doesn't know where to go. And we have to find a location for that grief. Sometimes, that love. Again, I feel that grief is love with no place to go. When we're grieving, oh, it hurts. It hurts so much. And we just want that pain to stop. But we can't go around it. We can't go under it. We can't bury it. Oh, that's the worst one, is burying it. We can't go over it. We have to go through it. As painful as it is, we do need to go through it. And oftentimes we need others. And I know there's a lot of people that say the most insensitive things when we're going through grief. And going through divorce is going through grief. It is. We have to realize that those around us do have the best intentions. They mean well. They want to be supportive. They want to be helpful, but they don't know how. They don't. And they say the worst possible things. And we can find ourselves so angry at them for that thing that they said that was just so insensitive. And we can redirect our anger onto them unnecessarily. Because all you're doing is displacing it. You're not moving through it. You've just basically moved it from here to there. But it's still there. We need to move through it. And we need to honor it in some way so that we can make peace with it. It'll linger. Grief will linger. You know that. There are things that in your past, grief-stricken events that when you pull them to the surface, you can still tear up. You can. Because suddenly you feel it viscerally. You feel it all over your body. And then it dissipates. And you've made peace with it. And you honor it in some way. Okay. So, if in this particular moment you're not feeling grief, you're feeling anger, you still have all that rage and all that anger, that's fine. That's fine. Just make sure it moves through you. Again, we don't want it trapped in here. We really don't want it trapped in here. And it's so hard to look to the future, to choose a future when you're still protecting your wounds, when you're still picking at them and causing them to bleed again. And then they have to, then the healing starts again, and then you pick at them even more, and sometimes they get infected. Oh, we don't want that either. We absolutely don't want that either. So sometimes you're protecting your wounds. Protecting it is one thing. Picking at it, oh, that's a whole other thing. And we want to be careful with that. And picking at your wounds could be, again, self-doubt. You're doubting yourself. You don't trust yourself. And you're second-guessing yourself. Therefore, you're picking at wounds that are trying to heal. Okay? You and I both know that, especially if you have children. If it keeps getting picked at, okay, the scar gets worse. It doesn't get better. Our actions don't make the scarring better. It doesn't. Our actions of keep constantly picking at it makes it worse. It does. So trusting yourself is so important. So let's say you've done all these things, okay, and you're feeling better. You're getting ready to go out there, getting ready to date again. I want you to be really careful, okay? There's language for this. There is. We talk about the rebound. We do. We absolutely do. This is another area where we can start second-guessing ourselves. Did I say the right thing? Did I not say the right? Was I wearing the right thing? We can go through a whole avalanche of emotions related to that first date. Because in all honesty, we've lost the art of dating. There is a wonderful YouTube video. She's a New Yorker, a fellow New Yorker. I do have to get her name. I saw it once, and since I've seen it, I suggest it to others, but I have to find it again. It's brilliant. I believe it's called the 0 date rather than the first date. Because of social media, because of dating apps, we don't have that opportunity to see people in person across the room and make eye contact and do a little bit of flirting. You know, look down, look up. Are they still making eye contact? Do we give them the come hither look? Yes, the come hither look. You know, come over, talk to me. You know, and what is it? Hey, you know. Then there's a little bit of dialogue. You know, let me get your number, exchange the number, and then you go out on the date. Okay, so that's a 0 date. It's the precursor to the date, and that's that should be in person. Okay, we've lost that art. Now it's through apps. Okay, so we have a screen and filters and all that other stuff, and then we have the first date, which sometimes can be a coffee date or a lunch or a dinner or something like that. But there's so much pressure with that because we don't have that pre-date. We don't have that 0 date of seeing somebody across the room, hey, type of thing. And that creates a whole new dynamic that goes on. And we put pressure on ourselves. And imagine the pressure that we're putting on ourselves. We're meeting somebody else who has similar pressures, who's feeling all kinds of things as well. There's so much happening there. And when you have that first date or that second date, alleviate some of the pressure. Just alleviate some of the pressure. Be true to yourself. Trust yourself. And listen to yourself, your intuition, your gut. And you know, the inner critic, she can be, you know, whispering a little bit. But give yourself grace. Give yourself grace and patience, and recognize that at this moment in time, you're not rebuilding the old version of you. Not at all. Not at all. You're building one who can love and lead yourself. This is you. This is you, and you're so unique, just as you are. And you're worthy, and you're lovable. But it starts with loving yourself first, recognizing that you are worth it, and that you are unique and beautiful in that uniqueness, so that you can stand confidently. Because I'll tell you this, regardless of your size, your age, your hair color, all the attributes, regardless of all of that, how much you weigh, all of that, the most beautiful attribute that you have, the most intoxicating attribute that you have? You want to know what it is? It's confidence. It truly is. And you know this. A man walks into a room. He's bald. He's short. But he walks in owning that room. You pay attention. You do pay attention. Okay? On the flip side, the Adonis walks into the room that looks great, from an eye candy point of view, but he has no confidence at all. He's a wallflower. Yeah, you don't like that. You really don't. Even if you lack confidence, and this is an interesting dynamic. Even if you lack confidence, and you think, okay, I'll be attracted to somebody else who doesn't have confidence either. No, because you both have a zero end game down to the bottom. Like you're now competing as to who has the lack of confidence. But confidence is the most beautiful quality. It absolutely is. It surpasses pretty much everything else because it's true and it's real. And that's what we want in this day and age, is we want real. So with that being said, I want to also talk about real, okay? I am getting a lot of commentary about AI and how AI is being very helpful in lots of situations. So I want to ask you this. I want you to think about this. As you move through your life, hopefully start dating again if that's your choice, and want to develop a relationship with others, not just romantic relationship, but new friendships. Again, we talked about some people are Switzerland, some people completely disappear, some people choose sides. So yes, you will need new friends, and that's okay. You do. But AI is not a friend, okay? It can be helpful in certain circumstances, but remember, it's giving you knowledge. It's not giving you wisdom, okay? Wisdom is knowledge plus lived through experience, through feelings. AI doesn't give feelings. It doesn't. Let me give you an example, okay? This just came up, and that's probably why it's very fresh on the mind. I had a client reach out to me, and she and her husband are struggling. And I've been working with them, and her husband wrote the most beautiful apology letter. And she was very touched by it until she realized that Chat GPT had written it. And she had asked her husband, she read it, tears streaming down her face. It was everything she wanted her husband to say. And then she realized, as she got to the bottom of it, it had an AI tell in it, because you can tell when things are written by AI for the most part. Anyway, with that being said, she looked up and asked her husband, did ChatGPT write this? And he sheepishly, because he's being fully transparent, said yes. Well, that made the situation so much worse. It absolutely did. I mean, she pretty much wanted to set the letter on fire, and in her mind, she wanted to set him on fire as well. Like, how dare you? How dare you? It doesn't mean anything when it's artificial. That's what AI stands for. It's artificial intelligence. Artificial. It's not real. And as much as we want it to be real, it's not real. It can express emotion superficially. It can tell you all the things you want to hear, but you won't feel it. And isn't that the purpose as humanity? We want to feel things. We do. We want to feel love again. We want that intoxication. We want those butterflies in our stomach. We have this language that talks about how we feel. We want to feel that, and we want the people that we connect with That's how passionate I am about it. We want the people around us to feel as well. If you're just having conversations with chat on a superficial level, yeah, it'll make you feel better. It'll validate you. It'll tell you the things you want to hear. Okay? It'll trick your mind. It'll trick your mind into thinking those things. But it's not real. It doesn't know you. Okay? It only knows based on the knowledge that it's been given. Okay? You want to do an interesting exercise? Ask ChatGPT about you. Tell me about you. Write your name out. Okay? And it'll pull all the information from the internet, from all the various sources, and it'll summarize who you are. Really? Really? Is that what you want? I don't want that. I don't want that for you. Because your uniqueness bleeds out of you. Your confidence bleeds out of you. Your self-trust bleeds out of you. The way you feel, that's yours. You own that. No artificial intelligence is going to tell you how you feel. It might help you articulate your words on how you're feeling. Okay? But a thesaurus and a dictionary can do that as well. Or, better yet, the people that know you, the people that love you, the people that care about you, that have feelings, and from one human to another human can help. So with that being said, help. Ask for help. You're in this support group because you're looking for sources to get that help, to get that support. Reach out. You see a post, comment on it. Absolutely. Why do you think the rise of the Me Too movement happened so quickly, like a wildfire? Because people suddenly felt not so alone. Me too. You went through that? Me too. And it's not to invalidate the other person. It's to say, hey, we both had the same experience. Yeah. Okay. How are we going to move forward? Not wallow in it. Not wallow in that past. Oh, no, 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 no. No. Me too. What are we going to do about it? How can we move forward? Can I encourage you? You encourage me. Let's move forward. Let's check in with each other, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you need to put that one foot in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other, so that you can keep moving forward incrementally. And you might feel that it's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. But I can tell you that you can get so much further when you have that support, whatever that support is for you. So I want you to keep that in mind. This group is great, but as you can see, it's a very large group, 28,000 hurting souls. It's a lot. It's absolutely a lot. But there could be one or two or three that you connect with, and you're like, you know what? She said something. She said something that I connected with that just turned that kaleidoscope 1 degree, and I saw a different pattern. And now I can move forward. And that's what I want for you. I want you to rebuild the trust in yourself. And I want you, related to your second guessing, let's start working on that. Let's start working on that. And let's practice some self-kindness. This is you. This is you. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself some grace. Snap a band on your wrist. Break that pattern of that inner critic telling you the most wretched things. And keep moving forward. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been my true honor for my 10th summit appearance. I am one of the moderators within the group. And once again, my name is Vanessa Cardenas, and I'm a relationship reset expert. By all means, feel free to follow me. I am on all the socials. I give all kinds of tips and tricks and everything else to move you forward. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the summit. We have some amazing speakers coming up. We have, let's see who we've got coming up. We've got Lisa right after me, AJ and Bambi as well. You'll know Bambi, she's in the group, as well as Jesse and Billy, and Michelle and Kim. Oh my gosh, we have such a lineup continuing on. So do stick around. Again, the replays are there for you. Whoever you connect with, drop them a like or a comment or a share. Absolutely share. You help each of us with those comments, likes, and shares, because then the algorithm knows to put us in front of people who are hurting. And that's all we want. We want to make sure that those that are hurting don't feel so alone, because you do not heal in isolation. You don't. And if you do, it takes a really long time. Why subject yourself to that? Get the support that you need. Alrighty. Thank you again. My honor and privilege. I will see you next month. Take good care. Bye.